Oh, it's good. It's good,
Great.
right?
Just hot enough. How's mine?
Good, good.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Super hot.
All right.
You guys know we're live, right?
Nope.
I know that now.
Hey, we're live. Welcome, everybody, to episode 11 of the Five Dumb Things podcast. I am your co-host, Darren J. Gendron, and with me, a man whose heart is bigger on the inside, Brandon J. Carr.
Both of my hearts are bigger on the inside.
Ooh, good answer.
Oh gosh, I missed that. I was writing just dumb things to say about you, and then this is the tough thing, Brandon, about writing those little dumb intros. Is it's difficult to say dumb, mean things to you. You're just a nice guy. You're just terribly nice.
Well, thank you. I can give you plenty of ammunition if you need it in the future.
No, trust me, I hate you for being this nice. It's a pain in my ass on a constant basis.
Use that pain.
Grab onto it. Just hold it. Okay, we have a special episode. We're doing a Doctor Who special, so we put our heads together and we figured out who we have. Our special guest judge is going to be Lauren Bancroft, and this is her bona fides. She is a comedian. She is a member of the Whovian complex. She is a regular contributor to the Doctor Who companion show on the Nerdist Network. You also, I believe, have a art blog called Hoodles,
Yeah,
right?
Hoodles by Lauren. Yeah, I sell them on Etsy. The little Doctor Who doodles.
And I know I'm missing at least like 3 other Whovian-related things that you do. Like, that seems to be your entire Facebook feed. This is me doing another Doctor Who-related thing.
Yeah, I
Yes.
kind of fallen into it. People now associate me with Doctor Who, and they invite me to do stuff like this podcast, which I really appreciate.
Okay, we're gonna get right into it. We're gonna get this dumbness started because this was one that we this is only our second ever special episode where we're like, ooh, we have to talk just about this. The only other time that Brandon and I have overlapped that heavily in our fandom so far has been Star Wars. So when we did Doctor Who, so now what we're going to do, some of this is going to be tangentially related, but we're going to talk about dumb things in movies, television, music, video gaming, and more. And we're going to start with movies, and I'm looking at the show notes. I will alleviate any tension right now. None of us are saying that the Doctor Who movie is dumb, even though Eric Roberts is in it.
As the master, yes.
As the master, I'm avoiding that. We're giving it that level of respect. Like, nope, we won't pick on you. I will, however, pick on 2 doctors that I have absolutely enjoyed in their non-Doctor Who roles, particularly. And these are movies. One of them, when I saw the movie, I knew he was a doctor. And that's how I saw him. The other one, I saw it before he was a doctor, then I saw it again after he was a doctor. So it drastically changed the movie for me. In one case, it's G.I. Joe: Rise of Cobra, where why can't I not think of the 9th Doctor's name?
Chris Eccleston.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Chris Eccleston is there as Destro, and I wanted this to be so good. I wanted it, it's weird that the G.I. Joe movie, it dialed back on the camp at the last moment, but it still was, super camp at the same time. I needed my Destro to be a guy in an awkward metal mask wearing a 1970s pimp vest with fur lining and a ridiculously huge ruby. And they tried to make him serious, and I think it just came off as boring. So that one, that was so dumb for me. But then the other one, and it happened roughly the same time, is David Tennant, and watching him in Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire.
Yes.
Seriously, what did Harry Potter do to get a Time Lord that angry with him? It cracks me up. I can't unsee it anymore. He was just a British villain the first time I saw it, and just kind of he was there, he owned that role. But now it's he's changed. The context has changed so much for me now that I can't not see the 10th Doctor instead of Barty Crouch. And it's just it's the weird thing is that watching Jessica Jones, I don't have that problem. I can actually divide is that drastic enough of a character difference between Purple Man and the Doctor, Kilgrave and the Doctor, that I don't have that problem there. But I think I don't know. Should we be putting our doctors in like sealed cases when they're done being the Doctor? Are they allowed to have a career?
Sure. That's how we got. Oh God, I forgot his name in The Hobbit. Sylvester McCoy as.
Oh right, as
Radagast the Brown. Right?
Radagast,
Yeah.
yes, and he was perfect, and he was adorable, and if we had locked him away so long ago, we wouldn't have gotten that performance.
yeah. It's got to be Whovian fandom approved roles.
Oh.
That's what it is.
And then there are unexpected ones too. David Tennant in Fright Night, for instance. I don't know if you saw that, but it is glorious. He is not the Doctor in that movie.
It was amusing to go back and see all of Tennant's voice work and realize that as a avid watcher of Jake and the Neverland Pirates, I've actually seen a lot of his voice acting.
Really? Who is he on?
He is a genie on Jake and the Neverland Pirates.
Sure.
Yeah.
Huh.
That one, like, there's a lot of kids shows. Like, he's also in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as a recurring character. And a bunch of others that I found amusing. With Eccleston, like, I want him to have I'm not gonna lie, I want him to have a career. I want to see.
I want that so bad.
Yeah,
He's
and
so
I just
talented.
he keeps like Malekith just left me so cold.
What a waste.
He was great on Heroes, though.
Yeah. And
He's
then
on The Leftovers now, right?
Yeah. Oh my God, he's so
I've heard
good.
good things. I've heard good things about Leftovers, but
I
I want him to have like a real career, like a real big one.
Okay, so I think what I'm going to say, since I haven't really thought this through, I'm just going to go right straight on Eccleston not having a Tennant-esque career at the moment is dumb. That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Okay. What is dumb, Brandon? You tell me.
Well, I'm going to talk about an incarnation of the Time Lord that we have not gotten, of the Doctor rather, that we have not gotten to just yet, and that is under the guise of Rufus, who uses his magic flying box to go back to the past of San Dimas, California, to help out a couple of young high school students with their history report, in order to keep time going the way that it should be. And of course, I'm referring to Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, in which we get to see George Carlin playing essentially the Doctor in his role as acting as sort of an emissary for the leadership of the future, in which everyone is excellent to one another, because it's in danger if they fail their history report.
Are we sure it's that he's the Doctor or just a Time Lord?
He may just be a Time Lord. I mean,
like the phone booth is definitely a TARDIS.
Oh, absolutely. It's whatever TARDIS he stole, that's what it turned into. It just made the most sense for the time. Now, in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, there is some time jumping back and forth stuff that goes on, placing keys so that they can be found, etc., etc. In Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, we saw more of the space and the dimension hopping aspects of travel, as his TARDIS was going all over the place, different dimensions and things like that. So clearly it's not in canon as part of the Doctor Who universe. But I like to think of it that way. And honestly, if there were ever to be an American Doctor, no one, I think, would be able to portray it as well as George Carlin. Unfortunately, that is no longer an option. And so, for that, George Carlin's inability to reprise the role of Rufus in either a Bill and Ted movie or the inevitable crossover, that's dumb.
You want that crossover, is what you're saying?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Keanu would definitely be down for it.
And who knows what Alex Winter is up to?
He's just an automatic. He's down for it. Just
right.
Yeah. Keanu, you have to convince. Alex Winters, you have to just send a car. That's all you have to do. Yeah.
Oh.
I'm not bashing the guy for needing work and being available to work. I'm just saying that nobody wants him to work.
Actually, he does a lot of documentary stuff now, which I think is very cool.
Well,
Sorry.
now you're making me feel like an ass for making jokes.
He also he gives a lot of food.
All I heard is he gives a lot of food.
Oh, sorry. He also gives a lot of food and money to needy children. But you can make fun of him if you want. That's fine.
I feel bad for politely laughing at the jokes then.
Well, he can't hear you because wherever he is in Africa building homes doesn't have any sort of reception. So.
It's hard. It's very hard. You know, the fighting Ebola was just, it's most excellent. You know,
Right.
So brave.
Honestly, between him and Keanu, like if you looked at the two and tried to guess which one of them would be the multi-millionaire mega hit guy, who's picking Keanu in that?
I don't know. Keanu's pretty dreamy.
Is he?
Yeah.
He is?
Yeah, I'd say yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm out of that.
For me.
Well,
Yeah.
at least of the two, I think that he was the most memorable.
I mean,
He had
in
a
like
lot
a
of
dim-witted
Weird
kind of way.
moments in
but yeah.
Parenthood. Oh yeah.
Oh man, we're waxing poetic about the handsome, dim-witted looks of Keanu Reeves. That's what we do, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so you're saying, I hate you're dumb. Because just a side note. This is also the dumbest thing about Cars 2, if you ask me. And I say this as somebody who actually likes Cars 2, and I know you have Stockholm Syndrome towards it. The fact that it's not George Carlin as Fillmore, that bothers me. Because they actually made an in-movie reference to the fact that, what's his name? Doc, the Sundance Kid.
Robert Redford.
The fact that Robert Redford was dead and is not the voice of Doc. Like, they actually killed Doc in between the two movies to acknowledge the fact that he died. Carlin also died in that time period, and they didn't make any sort of acknowledgement to the fact that it's now an impersonator doing the voice of Fillmore. I guess it is a little bit dark to say, hey kids, 2 of the 10 main characters are dead.
Well, I was going to say it fits with Pixar's style.
Oh, of death?
What's that?
Yeah, just killing people off.
Just start killing them now.
Right.
Just make it
Emotional
rough.
trauma.
Okay,
That's the way to do it.
Judge Lauren, let's get back on track. I almost want to say cut that whole minute out. Right?
Sure.
Just cut that. Cut that. That was boring. Judge Lauren.
Yes.
Why am I clapping? I don't know why I do that. Judge Lauren.
You like to make me angry when I'm going back and editing.
Okay, Judge Lauren, you tell me which is dumb. Is Eccleston not having a David Tennant level post-doctor career dumb? Or is George Carlin being dead dumb?
Wow. Really boiled Brandon's argument down, didn't you? I think that Chris not having a David Tennant level career is really dumb. And that's my final answer.
Wow.
Sorry, Brandon.
Stand-up comedian going against George Carlin being dead. She enjoys George Carlin being dead, ladies and gentlemen.
I know, that is...
Great. That's going to be
monstrous.
why I don't succeed in any type of comedy. This soundbite is going to get out and I'll be ruined.
Oh, yeah.
I stand by it, people. Okay.
Yikes.
Okay. Wow. She's
doubling down.
Double the double.
I'm
double,
very
double.
stubborn.
Okay. There is a tiny redhead 2-year-old running from window to window outside my studio right now. So if you hear tiny little screams, that's what that is. He sees me, and he's using a toilet paper tube telescope to say hi.
Okie dokie.
Okay, let's move on to television. I'm going to start the clock. One thing that I think is dumb and Doctor Who is a television show, and yet again, it looks like we were respectful and didn't throw any of this. I could have very easily thrown 12th Doctor's first ever episode on the bus. I'm still annoyed that they think that the T-Rex was that big. T-Rexes should not be able to fit a TARDIS in there. But no, I'm going to look past it and pretend that it was some weird space dinosaur, not a time dinosaur. Okay, this is what I actually was thinking was dumb. Is this just happened recently? That every episode of Doctor Who that was on Netflix got pulled off of Netflix, and for a couple days there, they weren't telling anybody. Well, what are they going to do with it? And then all of a sudden, they're popping up on Amazon Prime. Some people thought that like the BBC was going to put it on their own streaming service that they're developing right now. I mean, it would make sense for them to run it there, but
Well,
Amazon.
and they are. They're doing both.
Are they doing both?
Yep.
Okay, I
don't
didn't actually.
think Doctor Who's going to be on the streaming one though. The new one that's coming.
Really?
Yeah, because the contract they've signed with Amazon is like
Yeah.
an exclusive multi-year deal.
Mhm.
Well, then never mind. I'll delete that too.
But yeah, that's the thing. Like Amazon, it's a big pick for them. And I don't know. I don't like it because I would I would rather they all There's a part of me that wants Netflix to be the dream of Netflix of it's everything streaming at every moment. Like there was actually commercials back in like the early 90s that were bragging about what fiber optic television was going to be. Like it was that guy checking into the hotel and he was like, well, do you have anything for entertainment? And like the clerk just looks at him like, yeah, we've got every movie and every TV show that was ever made instantly available. And we still are so far removed from that. And it's going to come down to contracts and negotiations and exclusive rights. And I like the fact that we're getting so many new venues, but I don't like the fact that with all that fracturing, they're all trying to get their own little pay niches in. And I don't want to have to subscribe to $120 worth of stuff just to watch all the stuff that I want to watch. So old man Darren is shaking his fist at the internet and saying, to be honest, like Amazon is their selection is so limited, and I'm still mad at them for not picking up Zombieland as a TV series.
Agreed.
Yeah. Oh, that's my follow-up on this. But yeah, that's all I got for that. I don't know. Have you ever used Amazon streaming service?
Yeah, actually, I use it quite a bit. So I'm on the other.
I've never used it.
Would you rather? Do you use that? Or would you rather use that one or Netflix?
I would rather use Netflix because for my primary TV watching area, I use an older Apple TV, so it doesn't natively have Amazon on it. So anytime I want to watch, like when I was catching up on Orphan Black, when that first posted on Amazon, I had to pull it up on my phone or on my tablet and then like push it to my Apple TV instead of being able to just click a button like I can do with Netflix.
Yeah. And I mean, I shouldn't complain too much because I have both, and they're both built into my TV. And like because I have the 2-year-old, I have diapers sent to my house on a subscription. So that subscription makes the Prime valuable to me.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I just want to complain about it, I guess. Because Amazon's user interface is so clunky. It's very frustrating. My kids, they'll watch on the tablet. They'll watch like SpongeBob or Bubble Guppies, and it'll always freeze up on them as they're watching it. Or Shaun the Sheep. Yeah, that was another one. Like this whole Doctor Who thing already happened like a few months ago when Amazon bought the rights to Shaun the Sheep. Very frustrating. I was very nervous that I was going to have to live in a world. The beautiful thing about Shaun the Sheep, for those that don't know and their parents, they have small kids, there's no dialogue in those episodes. So there's no annoying catchphrases just getting drilled into your skull over and over again.
Or weird little baby voices.
Yes. And Ardsma, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate this so much.
On something. I'm not familiar with Shaun the Sheep.
Are you familiar with
Wallace and Gromit?
Wallace and Gromit?
Yes.
Wallace and Gromit They had a movie. There was a sheep in it. His name was Sean. Had a children's television spin-off called Shaun the Sheep. There's a baby sheep in the Shaun the Sheep episodes that had a spin-off that was called Timmy Time.
All right.
Yes. Now you know.
Well,
Like they kept getting younger and younger with their TV shows spin-offs. But Shaun the Sheep actually had a movie last year. It was Oscar nominated too.
for what?
Animation.
Really?
Yeah.
Best sheep.
Mm-hmm.
Best sheepish. No, it's Shaun the Sheep is really clever and fun and just it's Wallace and Gromit stop motion animation. It's always beautifully done. So, yeah. Yep.
Awesome.
Things you learn as being a dad. It's like it's our secret culture. Yes. We know that Caillou's a little bitch and she's pretty good. Did I say a bad word?
I could do a whole episode on what's dumb about Caillou.
Okay, Brandon, you tell me what's dumb, and let me know if it's dumber than Caillou.
Oh no, it's not dumber than Caillou. You'd be hard pressed. I would say the death of Carlin is dumber than Caillou, but I'm a human, so.
No.
So I'm going to talk about Inspector Spacetime. Inspector Spacetime was the series within a series on Community that was the object of Abed's fandom.
Mm-hmm.
He was in a place where he needed something.
I want to say it was his third fandom.
Was it?
Yes, because he started off with Cougar Town.
Right.
And then Cougar Town went on hiatus, so he actually did show up in the background.
Oh, that's right.
And then when it was on hiatus, somebody got him hooked on it was like a Downton Abbey knockoff, but it was only like 5 episodes and everybody died, so that was it.
Right.
And so he had no new content to obsess over, so they handed him Inspector Spacetime.
And Inspector Spacetime is clearly Doctor Who. It's about the Inspector who travels the universe in his Model X7 Dimensionizer time booth, which is a red telephone box. Fans call it the booth. It's referred to as just a little too small on the inside.
I have to ask Lauren, do you know Inspector Spacetime, or is this new to you?
I know of it. And,
Okay.
and mostly in the sense that people who have seen Community, who know I love Doctor Who, have been like, look, no, you got to just watch it for this part. Just for this. I'm like, oh, I've also heard it's like a really good show, and it's
Right.
funny. Like, no, screw that. Just watch it because you like Who, and you'll see the parallels. Like, all right.
Yeah, the parallels are not subtle. It's not clever. You know, it's pretty much just renamed things. He recruits associates to travel with him. The one we see most prominently is Constable Reginald Wigglesworth, who goes by Reggie.
Right.
He has an optic pocket knife that he uses, and it's a really solid parody. And there's a lot of work that's gone into creating the backstory of Inspector Spacetime. And in fact,
most of that work was done by the BBC about 50 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. And in fact, on TV Tropes, on the TV Tropes website, there's an entire very long article about Inspector Spacetime that gets into the backstory, where it's been on since 1962. He's an alien from a faraway planet, et cetera, et cetera. So it's got a lot of detail built into it.
1962, so it's older than Doctor Who.
Which I'm sure was not a coincidence.
Yeah.
So the whole Inspector Spacetime thing culminates with a convention. There's an episode of Community called Conventions of Time and Space, where Abed finds a soulmate at the convention that it doesn't really pan out. One of the other characters finds out he looks like one of the villains from the show. There's a focus group that happens during the convention where they're trying to come up with the perfect American Doctor Who, or Inspector Spacetime, which they do. I think they show a trailer for it. They do. They show a trailer for it, and it's Luke Perry is the American Inspector Spacetime, and that it's very American as opposed to the Inspector Spacetime stuff. Unfortunately, it was not a strong episode. It's not one of my favorites. In fact, it was during the season that is later referred to as the gas leak season. It was during the time where Dan Harmon left the show, or was pushed off the show, and then he came back the following year, and they explained that for an entire year there was a gas leak in the school, and that's how they explained that the show was so different.
I still haven't even seen like that season or the season after it, mainly because it felt wrong watching it without Harmon, and then it felt wrong watching it with him back.
Right.
Yeah.
And it became a lot more conventional while he was gone.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, there's only so much you can do, and the showrunners that came in were fine and veterans and people who could handle it well. But after Harmon left, he took a bunch of people with him. I mean, not with him; they left because he was gone. And then when he came back, it was still a little bit off, but it felt better. But then you lost Donald Glover and eventually Yvette Nicole Brown, and as it carried along, it got less and less of what it was at its core.
Now, what are you saying is dumb about Inspector Spacetime?
The convention episode, which had a lot of potential, happening during the gas leak season.
I'm gonna say I'm amazed because I think maybe you didn't know this, because that's not the dumbest thing about Inspector Spacetime.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me more.
The dumbest thing about Inspector Spacetime is the actor that was playing Inspector Spacetime in these show within a show.
Mm-hmm.
He tried to kickstart an Inspector Spacetime TV show.
That's right. I remember that now.
That was easily the dumbest thing about this. Do you want to change your answer? I will, because...
Well, I don't, and here's why. Because I remember this story now, and he actually tried to get permission. He actually reached out to the owners of the show.
After he started the Kickstarter.
Right. Oh, yeah, it wasn't before. But at least an attempt was made, and it wasn't like he got sued or got a cease and desist and all of a sudden was like, well, you're going to have to explain what Inspector Spacetime is, you know, like some people.
Star Trek.
Star Trek. But yeah, no, I'm gonna stick with it because
okay.
it could have been a really solid episode or arc even.
So, okay, now, Judge Lauren, we give you two very tough decisions to start, a tough two to start. Now this is like a Nerf 2. Like, they're both so much lesser dumbness here. Is it dumb that Doctor Who is moving from Netflix to Amazon, or is it dumb that the Inspector Spacetime story on Community finished up in the gas leak season?
I think that it's dumb that it moved from Netflix to Amazon, if only because it being on Netflix and easy to access was how I was able to convert so many people in the past few years to being to go from civilians to being Whovians.
That's like, how I was converted.
Yeah, it's like, oh, is it on Netflix? Yes, it is. Seasons 1 through 8. Go ahead and start it. And then they'd start, and then I'd have a new Whovian friend. But now it's like, oh, Amazon Prime? I don't have that. God damn it. I need to get an account just so I can give people my credentials so that I can get them to start watching it. So yeah, it's dumb.
Oh my gosh. I think what's weird is that as we move over to music, it's actually going to touch on the moment that I became a Whovian. Okay, so music. What's like? I sat down and I started thinking about like music and Doctor Who, and within 2 seconds, one song popped in my head, and it was "Toxic" by Britney Spears.
Yes.
That's the song that just decided, like, hey, how's it going? Still an earworm, still here, still stuck in your... That was the first episode of Doctor Who I ever watched. Like, that's, I think it's the second?
Correct.
Yeah, the second episode. So I've sort of had to, like, figure out, like... I loved how economical the writing was, that they explained pretty quickly that this is an alien. He's jumping back and forth in time and space. And by the way, people in the future are stupid. but in a fun way, like the jukebox being labeled an iPod, and then as like the action scene is going on, Britney Spears' "Toxic" is playing, and it kind of forced me to admit, like, it's not that bad of a song. Like, it's got a good rhythm. Like, I'm digging it. Like, I'm going through like all the. Why could I could have had like Rogue Trader's "Voodoo Child" stuck in my head, like that music. I could have said that. The "Here Come the Drums" scene when the master like throws down his master stroke. Same season. Wait, same season? No,
Nope.
that's 10th Doctor. Gosh, they're all blending together, which is great. I like that. But no, yeah, Britney Spears' "Toxic" is the song that when I first started, I didn't even think of the Doctor Who theme song first.
Wow.
"Toxic" jumped in first. Like, hey, how's it going? Britney Spears here, playing Vegas now. Yeah, and that's dumb. That's just dumb. That's
dumb
all
that
I
that's
got
the
there.
first thing that pops in your head. That's what's dumb.
That's what's dumb, is that I cannot get Britney Spears' "Toxic" out of my head, and it's been there since watching Doctor Who years and years ago on Sci-Fi. Yeah, was it on Sci? Yeah, it was on Sci-Fi, wasn't it? Yeah, it was before they moved it over to the BBC America.
I don't know.
Crazy
Like I said,
times.
I got into it with Netflix, so I don't know.
Okay, what's dumb in music for you then, sir?
So I had two songs pop in my head, so I'm gonna bring up two songs because why not? So I'm gonna pretend that's allowed, that I can have two topics. One is a song by Perry Grip, who was the lead singer or guitarist for Nerf Herder, so he already had some nerd show cred there. He did a song called Doctor Who, which is very catchy. It has a fun. Well, I found a fun video. I don't know if he's made one. I'll play a little sample of it here, just so everyone can hear it. What's dumb about it is that it's so catchy, because it's like most of Perry Grip's song. There's very little substance to it. It's got a catchy instrumental line, and then he says the same thing over and over and over again. My son loves Perry Grip, so I know all of his little mini songs about monkeys riding pigs and stuff. and like that's all that it is. Like he'll take a tiny video clip and make an entire song about it, and it's maddening. But it's catchy, and I know all of his songs because it's so easy to learn them, and that's dumb. On the other side of it, the rapper Adam Warrock, who we've mentioned on the show before, he has a song called "I Have Never Watched an Episode of Doctor Who in My Life," which came out a few years ago, and it's basically a whole song about how his friends are always talking about Doctor Who, and he has no idea what they're talking about. I believe the line, "What's a TARDIS?" is in there somewhere. So he wears it on his sleeve. He wears it with some amount of shame. He does say, maybe I should check this out. And in the intervening years, maybe he has. I don't know. I know that based on mutual friends that Adam Warrock and I have, I'm sure he's been inundated with Doctor Who stuff since then. But what's dumb about that? Watch Doctor Who, Adam. Come on, man. Come on, huge.
All right.
I like the personal note for Huge there. Yeah. Using both his stage name and his actual name.
That's right. It's a real call out.
We know your name, Eugene.
Right.
Okay, so which part are you saying is dumb? That Perry has watched Doctor Who, or that Adam has not?
I'm saying that Perry's song is dumb because it's so catchy, and I'm saying that Adam Warrock not watching Doctor Who is dumb. I'm doing a twofer.
A twofer. I'm trying to. Okay, so.
Good. Sum it up for me. Go ahead.
So these are your three options that you have to pick for the dumbness here. Is it Britney Spears' "Toxic" being an earworm? Is it Doctor Who by Perry Grip being an earworm? So we have Team Earworm. Two of them are earworms, and one of them is toxic. Or is it the fact that there is a nerdcore rapper traveling the U.S., working by the sweat of his brow, rapping to entertain tens, nay hundreds, a night, I was gonna say thousands, nay millions, like almost.
Yeah,
Like he
overselling.
gets a lot of downloads. He's huge on the internet. Internet rapper nerdcore guy has not watched Doctor Who. Should I re-summarize that? Because that was
No,
a
no,
terrible summary.
I think I got it.
You good? Good? Okay.
Yeah. I think it's dumb that the rapper hasn't watched Doctor Who. Although I think it's dumb that anyone hasn't watched Doctor Who. But specifically, a nerd rapper, he should not be writing songs without having not watched it. He should be spending that time watching it.
I do have to hand it to him. Like that legitimately is like a facet of nerd shame there to have not even like tried Doctor Who. Like, and yeah, he acknowledges it, so I'll give him credit for that. All right, let's swing over to video games now, because there's just a wealth of Doctor Who video games. And actually, that's the thing, is that there is one out like right now that looks amazing, and I hate it for this. Lego Dimensions.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. For those that don't know what Lego Dimensions is, it's very much over the Disney Infinity / what's the first one?
Skylanders?
Skylanders, thank you. Skylanders Infinity style, where you have to, or the Amiibo, where you're collecting real world things to play a digital world game. And in the case of Lego Dimensions, like you have your portal thing, and then you could like throw vehicles and characters on it. From everything that I still haven't played Lego Dimensions yet, because I really don't want to lose $500 in a month. That's my fear right now. Everything I see about this game is amazing. It looks like it's exactly the way that I wanted Disney Infinity to work from the beginning. Like say you're playing and it's a like the game I play the most right now is Lego's Lego Marvels. Not the current one, but the one that came out a few years ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my 5-year-old he plays that one on a just near daily basis. That's his go-to game right now. So we've played through it twice now. We've 100%ed it twice, and I like the Lego puzzle strategy. It's something that I got really into with the Lego Star Wars, and then I started playing like the Lego Indiana Jones, Lego Batman, Lego Harry Potter, and it's sort of the same game over and over again. Who's got
Who's having an emergency?
Who's got an emergency? We got this. Is that you, Lauren?
It's me. It's
Okay. I like how I'm assuming like Brandon, who lives in a farm in the middle of nowhere. Yes.
Pretty much.
Like if there's sirens by you, it's because the bootleggers have been caught by the feds. That's yeah.
It's not too far off.
Okay. So the Lego games, like, they were getting a little stale because there's only so much, like, this is shiny, so you make it blow up. This is gold, so you have to heat it. This is this color, so you have to use this, or has something you have to dig up. And, like, these game mechanics were going from game to game, and they're solid, and they're able to build puzzles around it that are pretty intuitive. But now, the idea that you can just have, like, a little Lego figure and you can just throw that character in the game without like I want to use this character right now to solve this puzzle, and that fact that you could do that you don't have to like unlock things as much. Like I'm sure there's some unlocking mechanism outside of cash money, but it might just be, hey, did you buy the character? Use it wherever you want. I talked to my sister about it. She's been playing this game, and I'm jealous of her. Because like it has a main game, and then it has all these like little it has like 12 different side packs to it, and it's got like Portal, it's got The Simpsons, Ghostbusters, and then it has Doctor Who as just like a whole game set, and like the character, and apparently it's got so many little details to it. Like I've seen the animations for Doctor Who, that every time your character dies, he regenerates as one of the other doctors.
True.
Yeah.
Like, all of them. including the War Doctor, is in there. Like, mm. So
Not Rufus.
Not Rufus, no. Here's the thing, though. As soon as you said that, I had to stop and think, did they do a Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure Lego set?
Not yet. But when Bill
And
and
that's
Ted
the
3
thing.
comes out, they will.
They could. They could so easily throw that in there.
Well,
Like,
there is
the
a Back
only-
to the Future set.
Yeah, there is Back to the Future. Like, we're not going to see Marvel characters yet. Like, I could see eventually Lego begging off some of the Marvel characters to fit into their game, but they're competitors in this between Infinity and Dimensions. But it's just it looks so good, but I see the cash beast that it is, and that is dumb. Like, I don't want to throw money at it right now.
All right.
Yes.
Me with you on that.
Yes.
It's
Are
one of
you
those things.
terrified of that game?
I am, because every time we are near the video game section, because my son will be looking at the amiibos or the Infinity figures or whatever, I'm drooling at the Dimensions thing, because it's like that is how I used to play when I was a kid. All the different toys from all the different properties, the Ghostbusters hanging out with the Ninja Turtles, hanging out with the Masters of the Universe, and that's basically what it is in video game form.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I would have to sell him in order to get all the stuff, and then I wouldn't have anyone to play with.
It is scary. It is very scary. Okay, so you tell me what is dumb in the video game world of Doctor Who.
So going back to what you were saying before, possibly sarcastically, about the wealth of Doctor Who games, there actually are quite a few, ranging from mobile games to just little Flash games. And actually the first Doctor Who game I ever played was just a little Flash thing in the browser, and it was weird, and basically you controlled the Doctor and K9 in different parts of a map where you had to do things. It was not fun. But there is a series on Steam of Doctor Who adventure games. And the one that I looked at in particular is called City of the
Say that again.
Daleks. And the one that I looked through in particular is called City of the Daleks. And one of the remarkable things about the Doctor Who adventure games is the voice cast. Because in this one, for instance, the Doctor is played by Matt Smith. And Amy Pond is played by Karen Gillan. And
we're losing you again.
Sorry, I don't know.
We got Karen Gillan.
Hang on. That should make it better. Karen Gillan played Amy Pond, and shoot, I forgot his name. I had it up.
Rory?
Nicholas Briggs plays the Daleks, and he is the voice of the Daleks. So a lot of time and effort for the games.
We lost you
and
again,
it looks
Brandon.
like there's a. I don't know what's going on. I'm not doing anything.
Let's turn your video off for just a little bit.
Okay.
I'll do this in solidarity. I'll join you guys in the no video.
What a bowler hat it is, too.
All right. Video's gone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You know what? I'm just gonna step it back for a little ways. On Steam, there's a series of Doctor Who The Adventure games. And the one that I looked at in particular, just for the sake of this, I haven't actually played any of them, but the one that I looked at is called City of the Daleks. And it's remarkable because the voice cast is actually from the show. The Doctor is played by Matt Smith, Amy Pond is played by Karen Gillan, and the Daleks are played by Nicholas Briggs, who does the voice of the Daleks and has done for some time on the show. The animation style is not exactly AAA. It's a Steam game, so it's obviously built on some sort of typical engine that was not created for this. It's the kind of thing where obviously Doctor Who has a huge fandom and makes a lot of money, but not all of that gets to its subsidiary products, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks fun enough. I watched a walkthrough, and it's, you get in there and you have to solve puzzles that aren't that are more. It's more of like a Professor Layton kind of thing in some points. You know, where it's like, I'll put down the drawbridge if you can solve this math equation. You know, where you have to figure out like how to work the TARDIS and things like that. It's very odd. What's dumb about it is that you more often than not play as the Doctor. And in my experience with Doctor Who, I don't want to be the Doctor when I see these adventures. I would rather be with the Doctor. And if the games gave you more of an opportunity to be the companion and have your own level of cleverness, but also be able to rely on his, I think it would be more fun. And so I think, you know, having to be in his Chuck Taylors at times is dumb.
You don't want to be the Doctor.
Don't want to be the Doctor. I guess my ambition is not that high. But I would love to travel with the Doctor, because he knows what he's doing, and he knows where he's going sometimes.
Okay. I honestly thought that you were going to go with the fact that it's dumb that there isn't another good Doctor Who game out there.
Oh, there are bunches.
But there are bunches.
Yeah,
okay.
I had no idea, and that was originally going to be my approach. I had put in the show notes all the rest because I thought it would be like 3 games, but there are quite a few that have come out since the relaunch.
When did you change that show note?
Right, we went on the air.
Yeah, I was like, I remember it saying that, and then I'm like looking over here and like, what black magic is this? Okay, Judge Lauren, you tell me, what is dumb? The fact that Lego Dimensions will eventually push me closer to bankruptcy, or is it that Doctor Who: The Adventure Games force you to be a Time Lord?
I think it's dumb that the game on Steam makes you be the Doctor. I think that's... Okay, mostly because when Brandon said that, like, the smile I got on my face was real, real big. Because I would never think of that. That it would be more fun to be a companion and be with the Doctor than it would be to actually play as the Doctor.
I have to figure it's a lot more dangerous at that point, too.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a matter of are you going to die, it's a matter of when you're going to die. Like, what horrible way are you going to end this game in? Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what's dumb. That's what I think is dumb. And that's a really good point, Brandon, and I like that a lot.
Yay, me.
Yeah!
Yeah. All right, let's go on to the etc. dumbness. Etc. dumbness, full disclosure here, at one point in my career as a webcomicer, I actually took a guest appearance at a show at London Comic Con, knowing full well that I was going to lose money going to this show, but I took the guest appearance because I felt it was a good excuse to go over to the UK to buy lots of Doctor Who toys. Like, I got a bunch of cheap sonic screwdrivers, and I got a bunch of knockoff little... they weren't Lego minifigs, but they were almost compatible with Lego minifigs, but I got like a bunch of Cybermen and Daleks and like every Doctor in quasi-Lego form, and this is stuff that they just weren't exporting to the US at the time. It was incredibly frustrating, and it was just like the toy collector in me is like, I want that, and the frustrating part about it is that it's still not good. Like, the sonic screwdriver was pretty good, but the Legos, like, do they not realize how awesome, like, what the disconnect that they have between complaining about Doctor Who and how much the episodes cost them and the lack of effort that they put into merchandising of this show is so frustrating for me. It's like, if you want all the monies, just like make good toys and then let the US and the UK have them. It's very frustrating. It's like the not Doctor Who, Sherlock. The Sherlock episodes that have been coming out. Like, I am long of the opinion that, hey, PBS, if you're listening, like the channel.
Sure.
If the channel PBS is listening, whenever a new series of Doctor Who is coming out, let me redo that. PBS, if you're listening, like the channel PBS,
Sure.
whenever a new series of Sherlock is about to come out, ask the BBC how much money, how large of a truck of money do you need to back up to the BBC offices to get same day, same minute release of Sherlock in the US as well as BBC. Find out what that number is, double it, run a pledge drive for that number, and fund the PBS for a year. That will happen. That's my theory. Like, if you just gave us an avenue to throw money at you, we would do that. That's my theory on it. I flew to London just so I could get a sonic screwdriver that I liked. Probably could have done Amazon or eBay for something like that.
Or ThinkGeek. They have some really good license products.
That was actually pre ThinkGeek picking up the license.
Oh.
I don't mean to be like, this is the second time I've done that. Like, I'm sort of a hipster. Like, I've been a fan of this for a while. Like, but there's a part of me that I really feel like a fake geek girl, like in the actual sense, with like Lauren on the show. Like, I don't screw up the Doctor Who stuff. Don't like she knows this stuff. And like I know a lot of listeners are going to be more in her shoes on this. Like, I can't believe you didn't know that. Like, how is he screwing that up? Like, yeah, it's like you know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, the merchandising sucks. They need to fix that. They have been fixing that, like I said, with like the Think Geek happening recently. Did they came out with a real Lego set for them, right?
They did.
Mhm.
Yes.
They sure
So it's
did.
been fixing, but clearly I should have thought up a better dumbness. But there's room for improvement.
And also, just to piggyback on your lack of quality dumbness, the Sherlock Holiday Special was released in the U.S. and the U.K. on the same day.
Yes, but PBS could have gotten money out of it, and they didn't.
True. That's true.
Yeah.
So
I'll
cut that out. That was really catty of me. So
But no, you're good. It's a fair point. It's a fair point. Yeah.
That's a lot of self-awareness, Brandon.
I keep myself in check. That's why I'm seen as nice.
Okay, Mr. Brandon J. Carr, you tell me what's dumb.
So I want to talk about Regeneration Who, which is a newish Doctor Who convention that's been going on. They just had their second one.
Mm-hmm.
3 days ago it ended, so it's very, very fresh in the minds. They, for a U.S. East Coast convention for Doctor Who, they pack in a ton of content and get some really phenomenal guests. This year, for instance, Peter Davison was there, Colin Baker was there, Michael Troughton was there. They always wind up getting a lot of companions. Nicola Bryant was there, Fraser Hines was there, a whole bunch of people, and including Nick Briggs, who does the Dalek voice, and he did that on stage apparently during it, and it was very well received, obviously.
I think I know where this is going.
Do you think it's one of these things that I'm going to say it's dumb that I wasn't able to go?
Yes.
So what's dumb about Regeneration Who is that it's this fantastic conference, or convention rather, that takes place not too far from me, actually, but for both last year and this year I wasn't able to attend. So no, it's
you're Hamiltoning it. That's
I'm
what's
Hamiltoning
happening.
Exactly. Oh, there you go. There's our Hamilton reference for this episode. I was wondering how we were going to.
You guys Hamilton fans?
Oh my God, yes.
Oh Jesus.
Hamilton obsessed.
That's wonderful.
He has repeatedly used the fact that Hamilton is dumb solely on the fact that he is not going to be able to go see it.
Right. That I'll never see the original cast. That's what gets me. And that I have friends who have, and it's driving me nuts.
There was actually a reference to Hamilton on this week's episode of Supergirl, and I thought of you.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I'm so behind on Supergirl.
It's
I'm
a
gonna have to catch
very
up.
just quick reference, just like it's there and then done.
Nice. So my main thing about Regeneration Who and why I wanted to bring it up for the most part is it's everything that I've read about it or heard about it has been great. Like apparently it is the best convention. There's another convention that happens in the DC Maryland area called Intervention, and it's the same people who put it together. Oni Hartstein and I know
Hartnell.
Hartstein.
Yeah, but isn't Hartnell also one of the people who puts it
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I thought you were correcting the last name. I was like, no, I'm looking at it on my screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Kara Dennison is involved. She's been helping run it, and a few other people that I actually know, so I should probably go just to at least say hi to people I know. Kelsey Wales, who I mentioned earlier, has done a lot of art for them in the past, exclusive posters and things. And it's very exciting to see some of the Doctor drawings that she does being held by the actors who are clearly enjoying it. So everyone should go next year. Everyone who's listening to this who cares about Doctor Who should go next year, and I will try to do the same. And we say hi and sing songs from Hamilton.
I also want to...
Can I ask, Brandon, where are you?
I am in Virginia.
Oh.
I'm sort of I'm halfway between Richmond and DC.
Okay, nice.
I do want to point out a couple things real quick. We didn't actually talk about Kelsey on the air.
Oh, no, we didn't.
No. Kelsey, hi, if you're listening, all good things. Yeah, we were discussing her Doctor Who drawing abilities. She's the artist of Dr. Kawhi. She also does a lot of she's Eat Toast online, and she does a lot of just amazing sketches of the Doctors. Huge Doctor Who nerd. Definitely something. She did the Gallifrey Crumblies, where
Yes.
she combined what is it called?
Edward Gorey. It was
Edward Gorey
Gorey's,
drawings
yeah.
with Doctor Who, and just amazing work. And she just cranks this out. She's a freak of nature. She's been.
She also sculpts. She makes toys. She made a whole line of Doctor Who owl toys.
Yes, the little clay Doctor Who owls. I definitely have one in my office somewhere.
Oh wow!
Yes.
I have an action figure that she made of me, and it's one of my.
I have an action figure of myself. Yes.
It's amazing.
Yes.
So anyway, back to the Kelsey Wales show.
As we geek out about Kelsey Wales. Sorry, but Lauren, you went to a West Coast convention too, with Gallifrey 1.
Yes, I certainly did. The 27th. This year's the 27th annual Gallifrey 1.
Okay, and so that's the one that's West Coast, and Regeneration Who is East Coast. So got that split and done good. I think those. Do you guys know of any other Doctor Who conventions in the U.S.?
Strictly Doctor Who?
Yeah.
There's one happening in New Hampshire in May. It's a small one. I think it's a first year. It's called the Coal Hill Convention.
Oh.
It's a first year con, and New Hampshire's my home state, and this is completely unrelated to me. I just wish I could be there. Because who is my stuff, and I'm not gonna be home to. It's also my birthday weekend, so I feel like I should just go, right? I should just go, guys, right?
You should. Of course.
We're gonna talk you into that. Yes, that they should invite you in as a guest.
They actually did. They invited me.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah, but we'd have to obviously get ourselves there, and I'm like, oh god, I'm going home in October. I don't know if I can sing that. No. All right, well, I've just decided I'm going. So.
All right. Okay. Let's talk about dumbness here. Is it dumb that the BBC does not make little shiny things at the level that Kelsey Wales does for me to purchase and have in my home? Or is it dumb that Brandon doesn't get to have nice things? Wait, is it dumb that Darren doesn't get to have nice things, or is it dumb that Brandon doesn't get to go to nice things?
Yeah.
Oh,
who do you like more?
Oh, geez, this is really, really boiled it down to really personal choices here. I think it's dumb that Brandon doesn't get to go. Darren, don't be mad.
No, I
Don't
know
unbook me
exactly.
from Mega Art Wars next month.
It's completely because he brought up Hamilton, isn't it?
Well, I mean, the Hamilton, for sure. And I know how much fun it is to go to a Doctor Who convention, and it's a shame that he can't do that.
Exactly. She decided to not throw away her shot.
Boom. This is great.
Oh, okay. So let's recap what is dumb, ladies and gentlemen. Looking at the notes, we have decided that G.I. Joe: Rise of Cobra is dumb. Amazon is dumb. Adam Warrock is dumb. Doctor Who: The Adventure Games is dumb, and Brandon being house-ridden is dumb. I gave that one a nice, because I love Oni and Harknell and Kara, so I didn't want to say that Regeneration Who was dumb, so I gave them a nice little aside there. Oh gosh, I'm seeing the follow-up dumbness. I'm seeing you added a note, and I am not happy.
Why? Seriously? I'm so excited.
But it's not me.
That's true.
So go ahead. You share first. You share follow-up
Sure.
dumbness.
So previously we talked about the Tick series at Amazon, which we earlier concluded is dumb. Which I'd like to say, though, is not dumb. My best friend is like a project manager there, so it's great. But they have cast the Tick, finally, and it just actually, the announcement came out today. And the actor who will be playing the Tick is not Darren, unfortunately, but a close runner-up, or he was a close runner-up to Peter Serafinowicz, who is a British actor who was on the series Spaced as the guy who took Simon Pegg's girlfriend, and he was in Shaun of the Dead as the roommate. Pretty much anything those folks are involved in. He was also most recently in Guardians of the Galaxy, and will forever be remembered as the voice of Darth Maul.
Yeah, I was actually having to check that, like, because I'm like seeing his thing on IMDb here, and like, I just actually watched him in Spy like last
Spy,
week.
that's what I was going to ask. Was that
Oh.
Spy?
Yeah,
that was a
I
good
haven't seen
movie.
Spy. I'll have to
That
check.
was a horribly marketed movie. Oh my god!
It was
Like-
so much better than I thought it was going to be.
That's exactly what it was like. I'm like watching it because it was just like it was on HBO on demand, like so yet another streaming service that I subscribed to. So I'm like I throw it up and I'm like, this movie's not crap. What do you know? Okay.
Yeah, I do need to check. Well, he was also in Parks and Rec as the British lord who befriends Andy, and it was his
Yes. Okay, so my follow-up dumbness is I think it's law of equivalent exchange that if we squeeze in a Hamilton reference, we are going to squeeze in a Deadpool reference, ladies and gentlemen. We have an answer. I was obsessed about this. I wanted to know how the credits to the movie, like the opening credits, how that was scripted. The fact that it's Ryan, instead of Ryan Reynolds, it's God's Perfect Idiot. Instead of the names of the writers, it's the real heroes here. And instead of the director, it's some overpaid jackass. Plus a CGI guy, a British villain, a moody teenager. Turns out it was loosely scripted that way. In the original written script. Like, they did describe kind of what they wanted to do, and they joked around a little bit with the credits about they wanted some fake names, and then they were going to do, like, and oh shit, Stan Lee is in this. Something like that. But it turns out in movies that if you name one actual credit in the credits list, it then becomes real legal credits, and you have to put certain things in it.
I actually knew that. That's something I've been reading up on lately.
Yes, but if you do all fake credits, it's not actually the credits, and you could just say the credits are at the end of the movie. So once they changed one name, they then had to change 100% of the names, and they did some rewrites, and what happened, and it was sort of the director and Reynolds were pushing to keep things as close to it as it was, but Ryan Reynolds actually wrote his own credit. He wrote God's Perfect Idiot, and the director actually wrote some overpaid jackass. Like, that was him calling himself that.
Nice.
And the writers did indeed call themselves the real heroes here.
It all adds up.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, that mystery has been solved. I want to do a special shout-out thank you to Justin Foster and his podcast, Foster the Podcast. He actually had one of the writers on as a guest, and he asked that question of the writer for me, knowing that I've been on like a severe obsession trying to find that answer out. That brings us to the shameless plugs. Kind of want to say that again so it doesn't have an ah leading into it. That leads us to the shameless plugs portion of the show. Brandon, do you have a plug?
Yes, actually relevant to the topic at hand. I will be appearing in 1996, where I will be convincing myself not to wear the black-on-black tuxedo with red bow tie to the prom.
How much eyeliner was involved in that look?
None. Do I strike you as an emo fellow?
But it would have paid off had you some nail polish.
Oh yeah.
No,
it
bit
would
of
have
product in the hair. I could see that on you too, like on a teenage Brandon Carr. You could have pulled it off.
I could have, but I didn't. It was all black except for red bow tie and red cummerbund because
could have made a little bit of extra money at the prom as part of your Green Day cover band.
Sure. Yeah. Although that wasn't really even their look then. They were still.
That is pretty
emo. You set the trend, though. You would have started.
Oh yeah, I would have been like, I'm gonna start a band called My Chemical Romance. We're gonna mope out.
Just be ahead of the curve there. I like it. Would be great like if you did it and you had it just slightly wrong, you know?
Yeah.
My Chemical Long-Term Relationship.
Right.
You know? Just okay. So my shameless plug. This probably won't. There's no way you're gonna have this one edited before the time that I actually do this, but I'm still gonna plug it anyway. You guys, because that way I could just be like, because this is me bragging about this, so deal with it.
Go for it. You have every right. This is very exciting.
Man, you guys can catch me at the Make Me Laugh semifinals in Las Vegas this coming Tuesday and Wednesday.
Woo!
Woohoo! Oh, that feels good saying that. Ooh.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Yeah. Ooh. I'm excited. I'm nervous. I have gone through every joke I've written in the past year, and we'll don't talk to me about it next episode. But in 2 episodes, we'll let you know how I did. Lauren, would you like to shamelessly plug stuff?
I would love to. My comedy stuff can be found at laurenbancroft.com. That's BANCROFT.com. Doctor Who stuff, I'm at thewhoviancomplex.com and the Whovian Complex on Instagram and Twitter. And my personal Instagram is at BANCROFFED. Same for Twitter.
Are you still doing the the companion outfit of the day?
Oh, it was Doctor Who outfit of the day, and it's not an everyday thing, but we do it like once a month or so.
Okay, so which Instagram does that one show up in?
Oh, that is gonna be on the Whovian Complex one. So at the Whovian Complex on Instagram.
Excellent. Okay. See, next week. Okay. Pulling up the wrong notes there. Sorry about that, guys. So that's our Doctor Who special. I want to say a special thanks to Lauren Bancroft for being our guest judge.
So happy to have been.
Yes, and a special thank you to Brandon J. Carr for giving me that mental image of that black-on-black tux. It's going to warm both my hearts forever.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
If I can find a picture, I'll send it your way.
I want that. I want that so bad. I will put it. That's going in my office. I was going to say next to my bed, and I'm like, that's weird. It was obviously a weird joke, but I just didn't want to commit to it. But I will legitimately put that in the office. Okay, next week our guest judge. Speaking of nerdcore rappers, we are going to bring out the one, the only Beefy. Has Beefy ever slept on your couch?
No, but I did arrange for him to come to an event on the East Coast and made that happen because it was very important to me because he is absolutely amazing live. I did one of his album covers, and he's been a friend of mine for ages and ages and ages, and I'm so excited that we're having him on the show. But no, he's never slept on my couch.
You realize that because of that he slept on my couch.
Oh, that was the same thing.
Yes, the same thing.
Thanks.
Yes.
Thanks for that.
Yeah. No, lovely house guest, amazing geek rapper. Excited to have him. We will be doing all that fun next week, so be sure to subscribe to us on Stitcher and iTunes so you don't miss an episode.
And please, please give us a review, unless it's less than 5 stars. If you have less than 5-star feelings about us, keep them to yourself. But if you have 5-star feelings about us, let everyone know. Shout it from the digital rooftops.
Absolutely. Okay, and for Brandon J. Carr, I'm Darren J. Gendron, and we've been really, really dumb.